crazier. Will this ever get
That's a 131. I'm recording this again. Because I have not played this game for a while. I stopped at episode 22 because I had stuff that had to be done. Well, I totally had time to record this, but I just never got around to doing it because of, burnout and stuff. And the fact that I had to record this 3 times, probably 4th time, because Meta doesn't support MKV file format for videos. I recorded a 40-minute video of this game and it got corrupted. It got corrupted because they decided to use MPEG-4, also known or shortened to MP4 video format. For the love of God, Meta, give us the ability to change file formats for video recording from MPEG-4, if you still want that, to MKV, because an MKV file, if it gets corrupted, can still be used as a usable video. Why do you use MPEG-4? We don't even have the ability to switch the file output. I want an MKV file, not an MPEG. But then again, normal Android records it as a MP4 anyways. I already did that guy's quest down there, or somewhere. Oh no, I did the quest down there earlier when I was recording that 40-minute video that Meta should have probably used MKV. MKV doesn't corrupt. So if I turn the quest off, it doesn't stop the video. It stops the video. But if you turn the quest off while this is recording, it will corrupt. Do you really want corrupted videos on your hand, Mark Zuckerberg? No. I want an MKV file format. Thank you. Jeez. I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm just going around killing stuff and gathering. I mean, actually, I could probably get that. Or if I could climb. Do I not got a pickaxe in my utility belt? Oh yeah, because you could access the belt from you have a utility belt, but you could access that UI by going forward. Why do I have to go forward? Why can't I just swipe up like that to open it and then swipe down to open it? I don't know. Also, this drifting is crazy. Meta, why did you use potentiometer sticks? I understand because you put magnets in these controllers, so you can't use Hall effects. But come up with a new come up with a new joystick solution that doesn't require magnets, that doesn't do drift. But look at this. My character is moving backwards. This is... Hold up. I mean, it's not drifting now, but it's gonna be doing this. And it would sometimes do like that. I had to put contact cleaner in this stuff. Also, these controllers suck. They will often take micro sleeps, and they will disconnect at random times if they get too hot. Yes, they're good for tracking without infrared tracking ring, right? No, they will disconnect at random because they want to take micro sleeps to save on battery. Why can't we disable that? Because they take micro sleeps when they're not in use, but it will also disconnect randomly as well. So you have to press down hard on the button to restart the controller. So the Oculus button or the menu hamburger button on the left controller. I mean, it works, but like, they still use the same joysticks as the Quest 3 controllers and the Quest 2. Those are potentiometers joysticks. They have this plastic finishing and the metal underneath it. That will lose contact over time and it causes drifting, and also a lot of dust underneath this thing. So you cannot open this up without damaging the ribbon cables just to clean out the dust. There's tons of ribbon cables in here. Like, we need to figure out a new universal joystick solution that doesn't drift. Yes, we have. It's called HoloFX. But if your controller includes a magnetic feature in it, then you can't put HoloFX, because if you put a magnet near a controller, it will also cause it to drift, which could cause interference. Somebody please invent a new joystick solution that is driftless, that doesn't have drift. And they make it so you have to take it back to meta. Same with Nintendo, but I already fixed the HoloFX sticks on my controllers. But same with Nintendo, same with Sony. You have to take it back to them or buy a new one from them, from your local Walmart, for example. It's better to buy a new one than to get the current one fixed. I guess it makes sense, but like but those companies are making a monopoly of that. They could have implemented new technologies in their controllers, which is anti-drift technology, but nope. They specifically designed it that way so that you have to buy more controllers, and then you have a bunch of broken stick drift controllers that work perfectly fine if they decided to use HoloFX in the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 5 controller. Nintendo lied. You can't. They said they were gonna put HoloFX in the Switch 2. I only have a Switch 1. Nope, they didn't put HoloFX. They put the same potentiometer joystick in there, but they said it's a new quote-unquote gliding system. No, that gliding system is potentiometer based, so it's still going to drift the same way as the Switch 1 does. And you can't put HoloFX in there because they decided to use a magnetic attach system. So you're screwed if you have a Switch 2. But if the new gliding system doesn't drift as much, then I guess I'll accept it. But still, if that's gonna drift. This is why I guess I recommend playing on mouse and keyboard, but this game is not a mouse and keyboard game. Or hand tracking. But that doesn't matter. You have the same sound effects with Morpheus. I actually used to play that game. Anyway, I'm not even doing any quests, I'm just killing stuff. Yeah, quests give you a ton of XP in this. Also, this is an old school, like, this is supposed to be based on old MMOs where it didn't tell you where you had to go. Well, it does, but you have to figure it out. Where am I actually supposed to go anyway? Alright, let's go back to town. Nah. What's that? Yep. I got like 2,416. I need about 12,562 experience just to get to level 13, which is not bad, but because I have a level 13 sword. Most of my armor is level 9 and level 10. I don't because I didn't get that many materials. I mean, I have materials. It's just I didn't bother to upgrade it. So if I go to a level 13 to 11 area, I'll die. Not instantly though. It takes me a while to die, but I'll die almost instantly. And I have quests to do over there anyway. Oh yeah, the fishing quest. I actually did that when I recorded that corrupted video, but I was gonna do it later, but like, let's hoping that this doesn't get corrupted. Bait for the big one. Yeah, alright. Oh yeah, by the way, my friend told me this. Money is just paper. It's worthless. He is right about that. Money is just paper. We as human beings, I'm not a financial expert, but like, we as human beings give this piece of paper backed by the government value. We give it value. The more and more people out there that don't give it value is going to make the dollar bill worthless. So yeah, he is right. Dollar bills are essentially worthless because it is the trading system from back in the day in the barter system. I'm not a financial expert. Is still in effect today. We use the trading system and the bartering system nowadays. You're trading a piece of paper and metal, because coins. You're trading metal and paper for something you want and need. You're trading metal and paper for everything. But that metal and paper is essentially worthless. I could bend those coins, shred the coins up, shred the dollar bill up, and also burn the dollar bill and shred up the coins. It would essentially be worthless. So yeah, there's that. But they try to teach you the value of money in school and stuff. It doesn't have value. It's a piece of paper with magnetic ink, backed by the government. That's all it is, a piece of goddamn paper. I could care less about that piece of paper's worth. It's still just a piece of paper. You're also putting it in a bank account, which is, I guess, digital. But still. But he does make a solid point about that. Although, what did I say? He did use that piece of paper to buy, and he used that piece of paper and that metal to buy Bitcoin. So he's completely wrong about that, because he had to use a piece of paper and metal to buy Bitcoin and cryptocurrency because he had a wallet. But yeah, it is worthless to own a tiny piece of magnetic paper and a metal coin nowadays. I can guarantee you that. My teacher did tell me about that, but like, I could burn money. I could literally care less if it was illegal to burn money. It's a piece of goddamn paper with magnetic ink that's backed by the government. Why would I care if I burned it? And why would I care if if the whole economic crash? You're gonna freak out just because your piece of paper disappeared. Oh gosh. We truly are living in the Matrix. If we have to rely on a piece of paper and metal, which is just metal coins and a piece of paper with magnetic ink. You're trading a piece of paper and metal for something you need. How stupid is that? Because we as humans give it value. Which makes sense, we gave it value. If enough humans chose not to give it value, then it would be worthless. My friend is one of the humans that doesn't give money value. Which I guess makes sense, because it's a piece of paper. You can't tell me this. Why would you put value on a piece of paper and goddamn metal? Why? Tell me, people, why do you put value on a piece of on a piece of paper that has magnetic ink on it? Same with metal coins. You're paying with paper and metal coins. I'm pretty sure Pokemon cards should become the new currency. Because they're apparently worth more because a lot of people like them. But yes, he is right. Money is just a piece of paper. But I am still going to use it. But still. And these billionaires are rich. Yeah, they are rich. They're worthless rich because these worthless rich billionaires have tons of pieces of paper. Wow. You have a ton of piece of paper with magnetic ink on it. You're completely worthless. These pieces of paper is completely worthless, you filthy billionaires. More like you're the billionaires of having pieces of magnetic paper and metal coins. Yeah, so you OnlyFans model, stop asking for money. It's worthless. You're asking for pieces of paper. You're asking for a piece of paper with magnetic ink on it. You're asking for magnetic ink paper. That's all you want more magnetic ink paper? Go get it yourself instead of selling your body. Same with you catfish people. All you want is magnetic ink paper. And same for you people who want to, date a girlfriend for a day and then they just pay them. You gold diggers are worthless because all you gold diggers want is magnetic ink paper. But yeah, I say magnetic ink because it uses magnetic ink, and if you put a magnet near a dollar, the dollar will attract towards the magnetic ink. That's the kind of the gist of that. Okay, put a magnet near it, The dollar attracts towards it a little bit. But yeah, I am right. It is a piece of paper. A piece of paper is worthless. And yes, we own many pieces of papers. We own many pieces of paper in our bank accounts, okay? Not much, but we own a certain amount of pieces of paper, as well as metal coins in our accounts. So, there's that. Same with other currencies of the world. Like, not just the dollar bill, but yen. Yen is also just a piece of paper. Euro is also just a piece of paper. Same with all the other ones. It's just in a different country. Let's see. The British pound is a piece of paper and metal. The only difference is these pieces of paper notes are backed by the government. Even the government knows how worthless these pieces of papers are. And they still want to print more of it? And yes, we need that for stuff to survive, this tiny piece of paper, but you know what's worth more than a tiny piece of paper? Water, food, shelter. And why do we use a tiny piece of paper to buy those things? Because we give it worth. If enough people chose not to give it worth, then there would be no use in using pieces of paper to buy stuff with magnetic ink on them. Yeah, I'm just gonna kill some stuff. But you know what? I'm still gonna use those tiny pieces of magnetic ink paper and coins. And metal. Alright? Even though I know that they're completely worthless, but still. We're relying on a piece of paper and metal. Let that sink in. I mean, it's a rare piece of paper and metal, but it's still a piece of paper and metal. And it's also, not only do you got, which is silver, not only do you pay for stuff with pieces of paper and metal silver, you're also paying for it with copper, which is their pennies. So silver, copper, and paper. That's all you're using, and those are essentially useless, except for copper and silver. Copper and silver you can use for a lot of things, but paper dollars? No, they're completely worthless, because it's just paper. Like, paper has no worth. I mean, it has worth because we need it for stuff, but like, at the same time, realistically, you're still just giving out tiny pieces of paper with magnetic ink. But you know what? I'm still going to use that magnetic ink paper, okay? Even if it's completely worthless.
Welcome to Ilsyia. To get the way.
Hey. Well, that would be it. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys later. Bye.